In the summer of 1945, Tsutomu Yamaguchi was working in the city of Hiroshima as part of an engineering team from the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Company. His employer had sent him from Nagasaki to Hiroshima on a short business trip to help design and install new oil tankers. August 6, 1945 was his last day on the assignment, and he was preparing to return home the next day. At around 8:15 a.m., while he was on his way to the train station, he saw an American aircraft flying high in the sky, the Enola Gay. Moments later, he witnessed a blinding flash of white light, brighter than the sun, followed by an enormous explosion. The atomic bomb, Little Boy, had been dropped on the city. Yamaguchi was only about 3 kilometers from the center of the explosion. The blast severely burned his left arm and face, temporarily deafened him, ruptured his eardrum, and threw him into a ditch. After several minutes of shock and confusion, he regained consciousness amid the ruins, surrounded by fire, bodies, and devastation. Despite his serious injuries, he crawled through the destroyed city, searching for his colleagues, eventually finding 2 of them still alive. That night, they spent their hours together among the ruins, watching Hiroshima burn to the ground. The next morning, August 7th, Yamaguchi decided to return to Nagasaki, despite his severe injuries. He managed to reach the train station and boarded a crowded train filled with survivors and the wounded. When he arrived in Nagasaki that evening, he went straight to the hospital for treatment, then returned home to see his family, who were shocked to see him alive in such a condition. The following day, he went to the Mitsubishi office in Nagasaki to report to his manager what had happened in Hiroshima. But the manager didn't believe him, thinking it was an exaggeration or fantasy. He told him, "It's impossible for a single bomb to destroy an entire city." On August 9th, 1945, while Yamaguchi was in the company office, the same horror struck again. The second atomic bomb, Fat Man, was dropped on Nagasaki. It was 11:02 a.m. This time he was about 3 kilometers from the center of the explosion once again. Windows shattered, the building partially collapsed, and he was thrown to the ground. Luckily, he was inside a reinforced concrete building, much sturdier than the place he had been in Hiroshima. He survived the heat wave and blast once more, although his facial and arm burns worsened. He staggered out of the building through the smoke and debris, only to find that Nagasaki was living the same nightmare he had witnessed 3 days earlier. When he returned home, he found his house partially destroyed, but his wife and son had survived. His wife had gone out to buy ointment for his burns at the moment of the explosion. She survived because she had taken shelter in a tunnel. After Japan's surrender, Yamaguchi continued to suffer from burns, disfigurement, hearing loss, as well as hair loss and reoccurring fevers due to radiation exposure. Despite his suffering, he lived a long life and later spoke publicly about his experience, in the hope of promoting peace. In 1957, the Japanese government officially recognized him as a survivor of the Hiroshima bombing, only. But after years of petitions and investigations, in 2009, the government officially acknowledged him as the only person in history officially recognized as a survivor of both atomic bombings. Tsutomu Yamaguchi passed away on January 4, 2010, at the age of 93, from stomach cancer, believed to have been caused by radiation exposure. Before his death, he spoke words that became legendary. "The atomic bombs must disappear. We cannot allow weapons like these to ever repeat what I saw."